Tonight on Country Squire Radio, we're talking tobaccos to enjoy after the big meal.
Plus a pipe question on keeping up with your first pipe.
Quick fire questions, your listener feedback, and more happening right now on this special Thanksgiving Day episode of Country Squire Radio. Welcome to Country Squire Radio. I'm Bo.
And I'm John David.
JD.
Hey, Bo. Good evening, man.
Man, good evening to you, sir. How you doing tonight?
You know, I'm doing fine. I just, I'm tired of being sick, so I'm kind of, muscling through, and my attitude is getting so angry towards the changing weather around here that I'm just violently rebelling. You know, I'm against it all, so I'm willing it to go away.
How's that working out for you?
It hasn't been very successful.
Hey, man, look, it's the power of willing one's own body.
That's right.
That's
right. Typically I just go to sleep until the pain subsides, and then I wake up and it happens all over again. So I've been spending a lot of time in my cocoon, my coma.
You got to do it sometimes.
Yeah. No, it's been nice. It's been a little colder around here, so it's pleasant to sometimes get in the bed and just kind of snuggle up. I got Penny there with me, and it's nice. My daily dose of NyQuil. It's real. Quite excellent. So yeah.
I just imagine you next to your bed with a glass, like a wine glass
of NyQuil, like a brandy snifter of NyQuil. Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah, with the thermometer coming out of my mouth. Yeah,
yes, Penny, bring me my brandy sniffer.
It's so delicious. We talked about making a fall blend here, that's based around like Dayquil and NyQuil.
Right.
I think that might have some legs. Yeah.
Well, man, it is cool outside, but I got to tell you, it is pipe weather.
It is.
I cannot remember a Thanksgiving week in history that has been like this, perfectly primed for pipe season. You got nice chill outside. You got a big feast that's coming, and you need, with everything that you possibly can, to distract yourself from talking with your with all the family members.
There's a lot of things to distract yourself from. And to save yourself from.
Look, 2016 has been a rough year. There's been
a lot going on
and a lot of opinions. And so you know what? The best way to combat those opinions, busting out the pipes and enjoying that with one another.
That's exactly right. And it works as a very well portioned pacifier as well.
That's right.
The old adult pacifier adage. It helps. You have to keep your mouth shut to keep it lit, and sometimes that's just best.
It's for the best for everyone. I agree, man. Of course, happy Thanksgiving to you, sir.
Happy Thanksgiving to you.
Thank you.
Do you have any plans?
We're staying in town. We're actually we're looking forward to it. The kids are going to be seeing their aunts and uncles who are all coming into my parents' house. We just got
That's great. Yeah.
My mom puts on an amazing Thanksgiving Day feast. It's going to be delicious. I cannot wait. What about you? Are you going to Texas?
Man, I'm not. I'm going to be right here. One thing about working in retail is around the holidays, you got to stay close to the fort, So, we've got a couple of things going on the day after Thanksgiving, of course, Black Friday. And we'll carry that on through Small Business Saturday, which is a thing now apparently. But real exciting times around here. We'll be close to home, and be close to home here at Christmas as well.
That's right, folks. You heard it. Country Squire opening up at midnight on Thanksgiving night.
False.
Just kidding.
This is very false.
What are you doing any kind of early hours on Black Friday?
We're not. I'm just against that morally. The version of the Bible I read calls that sinful. So I choose to not open early on Black Friday.
It's just the gospel according to St. John David. Yes, I remember that one.
Right. Yeah. That one. That one. It's in the Apocrypha. They took it out.
Right.
But, so we're gonna have just a regular hours on Friday, but we'll be doing a cigar event, some 3-for-1 cigar stuff, plus a lot of gift sets and things of that nature that will be good for folks that want just some accessories like lighters and humidors and things of that nature. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. We'll be getting after it all night and or all day, and looking forward to hopefully having you all around. And
wrap around lines going around the store with the kind of deals you're going to get here. I already see we got a line of about 20 people deep.
Oh, someone's already pitching
wrapped around. Yeah. Hey guys, we see you out there.
I'm gonna have to go hit them with a broom.
No, man, this is good. It builds the hype. Some people out there traveling for miles around just for the Black Friday specials here at the Country Squire.
Well, hey, a couple things I can talk about that we've got going on as well. We actually have our Christmas blend that debuted today.
Oh, dang!
It debuted today, and it's called Figgy Pudding.
Oh, where is it?
Figgy pudding. It is. Hold on one moment.
Okay, all right. I'll entertain. So John David is going to get the figgy pudding. So bring me some figgy pudding. So bring me some figgy pudding. So
Well, there's a lot of pudding tobaccos. So this one we went with figgy pudding, but this is what we call a full-bodied aromatic. So
yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
It's an aromatic tobacco, but it's one of those that has lots of strength, and it's just a robust aromatic tobacco. So it's one of those that I think you'll be real pleased to enjoy just with after a big meal, or big glass of whiskey or something like that. It's a real nice blend. So anyway, it's available on our website. You can go to thecountrysquireonline.com and check that out. And yeah.
So buy you some figgy pudding.
That's right.
So buy you some figgy pudding. That's awesome, man. Busting out the Christmas blend, and Thanksgiving Day hasn't even happened. Isn't that a shame?
Yeah, that's true.
They say they do it early and earlier, and I got to tell you, this was probably the first year that I fell prey to the pre-Thanksgiving Christmas shenanigans. Part of it's just because like the decorations go so fast at Target and whatnot.
They do. It's ridiculous.
Like if you want the good lights,
you got to get into it quick,
big time.
Yeah.
And so we stocked up, man. We bought, and some of it actually yesterday. I got so excited I started putting up Christmas lights in the back, and I realized no. What am I doing? I vehemently disagree with this. This is completely wrong. So I caught myself midway through, but one way or the other, it's going to be a great holiday season.
I have one customer. He's a retired football coach here in Central Mississippi, and he's a complete mess. And of course, every time he comes in, it's just a disaster, and I got to shut the whole shop down, quit whatever I'm doing, and apologize to the other patrons about being offended and all this stuff. He's just a complete disaster. But anyway, he's one of those Griswold people, right? So
right.
He's gonna deck his halls, the entire outdoor of the house. He's got the lights like forked into the ground. The entire, not just the rim of the roof, but the entire roof is covered. It's just ridiculous,
man.
And he just took his Christmas lights down about a month ago. So and what's funny is he is gonna faithfully get back out there and put them back up. I was like, Coach, you just didn't do this one very smart, did you? And then he called me some obscenities and moved on about his day. So man,
I gotta tell you that is a caricature that just painted in my mind right there.
Oh yeah, just one of many at the Country Squire.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Well, hey man, we've got a fun Thanksgiving Day special episode. And honestly, this is something that kind of makes me happy that we ended up going in this route. Given that as listeners, long time, but really kind of mid time, even short time listeners know, there has been a push by a faction of Country Squire Radio listeners for there to be a pairing of pipe tobacco and barbecue, which you have naysay.
It's so ridiculous.
I guess that's also in the Gospels, according to St. John David.
Thou hast naysayeth.
Thou hast naysayeth barbecue and pipe tobacco pairings. However, we found some wiggle room, which is in the spirit of the holidays. One thing that we can all agree on is that this time, by the end of this week, we will all be stuffed to the brim.
We are.
With delicious, delicious food. And more than likely, now not everybody, but more than likely, we're talking turkey.
That's right.
Hams. What did y'all have?
No, we always have turkey, but a ham is a critical component as well.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of like 1A and 1B.
Right.
Yeah.
You got to have them both. They're both up there. But I mean, turkey. It is the star of the show.
That's right,
as it were. And so as many people do, after a big meal, one of the best things that you can do: put your feet up, loosen your belt a little bit, bust out the pipe, and enjoy some beautiful pipe tobacco. And so what we're doing this week as part of our Thanksgiving special is pairing up and selecting some recommended pipe tobaccos to enjoy after this Thanksgiving Day feast. How about it? But before we do that, let's remind you about the good folks making this show happen, and that's the folks at beanfruit.com.
That's right. Beanfruit Coffee, locally roasted right here in Central Mississippi. Our friend Paul does a really good job and is a good friend of the Country Squire and Bo and me as well. But looks like they've got a sampler pack for the Christmas season. Is that right?
They do, man. It's an awesome sampler pack. You can get it for $18.50. Actually, if you use the code CSR, you get it for 5% off of that. You can try a bunch of their different blends. They make for great Christmas presents, and a good kick of coffee is not a bad way to enjoy that pumpkin pie at the feast as well. Delicious. So check it out, beanfruit.com. Again, the code CSR for 5% off. Now then,
Look at that.
you're like a
Isn't that
professional.
something? Isn't
Right
that
there.
something? You handled it well.
Thank you.
So yeah, we're talking about what to smoke after we've just done unholy things to our body by shoving massive amounts of Christmas fowl into our
Stuffing,
into our maw.
sweet potatoes,
Well,
green beans.
Well, when the Grinch was cutting up the roast beast, it was they weren't small slices. They were big slices.
Looked like a big giant steak. Is what it looked like.
That's right. And so we've got to think about, okay, it's right after we've eaten, we've gorged ourselves. And we're probably a little uncomfortable. We're probably surrounded by some folks that we may not prefer to be surrounded by. Maybe the little who's are surrounding the table, and we would like them to shoo-hoo somewhere else. And so we've got to think about a pipe tobacco that can match this, right? We probably need something. After you've done something real traumatic or dramatic, you tend to like something maybe a little strong. And so we want to keep that in mind. We also want something that's relatively easy to smoke, and also perhaps something with a lot of flavor, but then also something that has a room note that might encourage people to leave the room. And so,
oh wow! All right,
so there's a lot. There's a lot going on here.
This is an aggressive year.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we're thinking it's Thanksgiving. The Lions are on TV, probably losing to some other schmuck.
Is that who are they playing against?
I don't know, but this is a Thanksgiving tradition. The Lions are always on TV.
No, wait, hang on. The Lions, which
that's Detroit.
Detroit Lions.
Like, that's just a thing. Like as far as
that's
long
a
as
hockey team.
That would be for NFL.
The NFL, National
Football League.
Football.
Right.
Okay, soccer. Got it.
That's right. That's right.
They kick the field goal. They make it to first base.
Through the hoop.
When it's all done,
Yeah.
Somebody does the hokey pokey and they win.
There's people crying all over. Right
Go
now.
Lions.
But yeah. So you're watching the Lions game and there's a bunch of kids in the room and you really just want to loosen your belt and listen to the announcers say stupid stuff like these guys have to score more points to win and all that. And
that's right. Now if he gets that ball down the thing, if he scores, he is going to win some points right here. Let me tell you this right now. This is going to be a great game of football.
That's right. So first of all, our first bowl we're going to pull out to accomplish our goal here right after our Thanksgiving meal is made by our friends at Cornell and Deal. It's Old Joe Krantz. Old Joe Krantz. This is a blend. It was blended actually by Bob Ranowski, who was the Cornell and Deal master blender for over 15 years. And he actually passed away several years ago, but just created a lot of the favorite Cornell and Deal blends that we see today that everyone loves. And so I love this name for a post-Thanksgiving meal blend, because you've got this tobacco, Old Joe Krantz. It's like it kind of is the guy that, like, he wants whatever he's got his way at that time. He's kind of crotchety, just I'm going to smoke my pipe and you need to move along kind of thing, and I'm going to watch the Lions on TV. Yeah. So Bob, he actually named it after his grandfather, which I thought was kind of neat. I'll read just some notes from Cornell and Deal. This is on pipereviews.com. He says, the blend was named in honor of my grandfather, who was also my pipe smoking mentor and role model. He primarily smoked Burleys like Union Jack and Edgeworth Slice. I cannot think of a time when I didn't see him without one of his beat up pipes and the aroma of pipe smoke around him. So kind of nice. But so anyway, Old Joe Krantz, this is a fun tobacco. Bo, I don't believe you've ever had it, but
no, I have not.
It's a rough cut tobacco that's primarily burley, and it's augmented with Perique and a little bit of Virginia.
Now, rough cut different from ribbon cut.
Yeah, so you're thinking more of a chunky cube style tobacco. So when you pick up the leaves, like this is our figgy pudding here that we're looking at on on the live show. It's going to be much more chunky than this.
Okay.
But certainly not a flake.
But not like bacon flake type.
That's right.
Style.
That's right.
Okay, gotcha.
So
somewhere in between.
So you've got this rough cut burley, and it's been aged with the Perique, and it's got this kind of rounding out of Virginia. But because of that, it doesn't have just a ton of flavor, but it's one of those that is certainly full bodied. So you're thinking lots of body, but not just tons of flavor. I don't exactly know how to put that, other than you're just smoking something that is substantial without, being, oh, this is certainly a Latakia blend or this is a Burley blend or whatever. I mean, you'll taste the Burley, but Burley, as it does when it's the main component, a lot of times it just kind of gives you a nice thickness,
a little something to rest on,
which
too.
is that's right. That's right. And I really appreciate Burley for that. What I like about this is that this is a very strong tobacco, so you're going to get your kind of dosage of the vitamin N right there after your Thanksgiving meal, which is just fantastic when you're full and just kind of want to sit there and relax and like maybe drink some eggnog or something.
Man, you got that tryptophan in your body, and then you get that strong Burley kick.
That strong vitamin N. You just
find a chair.
You just want to loosen your pants and kind of stare off into the distance.
That's right.
And, just pretend like you don't have any bills and all that kind of stuff. it really is great. And another thing I like about this too is the room note is not particularly. It's not particularly great. It's one of those tobaccos that it's got a okay room note, but one person on Tobacco Reviews actually referred to it, and I tend to agree with this as cigarette-y. No pipe tobacco is going to smell like a cigarette, but there might be kind of that lingering feeling that would encourage the little brat that's that spilled something on the rug to I don't know, maybe go in the other room and bug grandma.
Man, you got so there's a cousin on John David's short list. Little nephew or a cousin somewhere out there.
I'm just saying we need to look for reasons for people to occupy their own space.
Fair enough.
Right. So we're going to start the post Thanksgiving meal with Cornell Deal's Old Joe Krantz.
All right. Old Joe kicking him out of the room.
That's right. And I do really encourage y'all to try that. Unless you're one of those people that is really averse to a strong tobacco, I think certainly tobaccos like that, and we've told the lore about tobaccos like Dunhill Royal Yacht and some of these others. Maybe if you're nicotine averse, you might want to steer clear of those.
Well, that Old Joe too, the packaging really nice, just a very classic streamlined Cornell and Deal.
That's right.
Beautiful,
real simple.
Yeah, and so really you could blink and you miss it in the lineup, but make sure you don't.
That's right. Okay, so moving right along, after we do the Old Joe Krantz, we're gonna pull out our another blend that's actually made by the folks at Cornell and Deal, but it's under the brand name Captain Earl's, and it is 10 Russians. 10 Russians. This is a Captain Earl's blends. These are blends that are produced by Cornell and Deal.
Hang on. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So we just had Old Joe,
right?
And now we're pulling up Captain Earl.
Right, that's right.
Did you just run down a list of your family members and just figure out?
Yeah, I picked out all the real crotchety ones. Yeah,
right.
all the ones that have like a bone to pick with someone.
Old Joe.
Yeah,
Cole, Captain Earl.
Say he wasn't a merry old soul. But so Captain Earl, this is a fun lineup of tobaccos that they've got over there. The Captain Earl's blends, which are for the most part very robust, almost all of them. I mean, you've got tobaccos that several of these are in a crumble cake form, and so when you open the tin, you got to kind of work at it a little bit. But they're stronger tobaccos, and certainly for people that love Latakia and Oriental leaf and things like that. So with Captain Earl's 10 Russians, I like this. I mean, we've got 10 Russians. You don't think of the name doesn't evoke like cranberries or like
it's not a very Thanksgiving-esque
pumpkin pie or
past the green beans and turkey.
Yeah, no, it's more like that's actually pretty good.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's more like get out of my way. I'm gonna sit on the lazy boy and where's the remote, right? So so
are you saying that Russians sound like they're grumpy?
I think you sound like you might have a hernia.
No. This is my Russian voice.
There's so many Russians that are thoroughly offended right now.
They don't understand what I'm saying because they only speak Russian.
What's that terrible movie, Rounders? The guy where they're playing the cards.
Oh, yeah.
And the guy.
That was not a terrible.
No,
movie.
it's a good movie.
I was about to say
it's a good movie, but the guy had such an awful.
He did have an awful accent,
and he would always say
Teddy KGB.
When he said burn and turn, it said bien
and tien. Yeah.
And I just wanted to choke him.
John Malkovich as Teddy KGB. Every single accent that John Malkovich.
Bien and tien.
John Malkovich, fine fine actor, but he cannot pull off accents to save his life.
Yeah.
He's terrible.
Yeah, stick with wherever
He's
you're
not
from,
one
John.
of those 10 Russians you want.
Yeah. No, I agree. He's like the 11th Russian. He got left out.
That's right.
So Captain 10 Russians from Captain Earl's. This is a crumble cake. You open the tin and it's a chunky cake. So because of that, if we're thinking Thanksgiving, you're gonna want to take this crumble cake and prepare it before the meal. Okay, because after the meal, you're not going to want to do anything, right? You're going to want to find the lazy boy, find your horizontal place where you can hold your remote and drink your bean fruit coffee, smoke your pipe, and watch TV. So,
right.
So you'll want to prepare the blend before the meal, and then after the meal, you'll have your pipe already kind of loaded up. This is a strong blend. It's one of those blends that, like most blends made by Cornell and Deal, it's going to be a little drier, so it might take a little time to, get right in your pipe and just get lit to kind of the perfection you want it to be. But want to read just a little anecdote from someone online. This is a review. This person, Mayanovich, on pipe. On tobaccoreviews.com, Mayanovich, he gives 10 Russians 4 stars, and I just read a few excerpts from his review of this. It's a 4-star review now, which is as high as you can get on Tobacco Reviews. But he says, I'm a 6'4" tall, 220 pounds in weight. I'm very strong and can withstand smoking a lot of Latakia. The telling of my 10 Russians tale is not an exaggeration, so skip this if you have no patience or a sense of humor. But he says it was the best of times and the worst of times.
Oh my!
Which I think is kind of interesting. So he went out into the woods. He goes on, talks about how he was going to do some chopping, some woods and some logs and stuff like that. He was going to do a little work. And after he smoked a bowl of Night Watch, which is another strong tobacco, he loaded up a bowl of 10 Russians. And he basically, let's see. He says, this is when the truth was revealed to me about 10 Russians. And he got, basically about halfway through the bowl as this is going. And he says, have you ever been so out of whack that you felt as if your pants had fallen off, even though you still had them on? Because if you know that feeling, then you know what it felt like to be me at this time. My body temperature went from 98.6 degrees to about 100,000 degrees Kelvin. Whoa. Which is very low. I could, or very high, I don't know. But he said I could barely finish my phone conversation while he was talking while he was smoking his pipe. Every muscle in my body got weak. I began to yawn incessantly. I drove home. I had to keep my head perfectly still and my torso at a perfect 90-degree angle. You see, I was gripped by the fear that I was going to projectile vomit so hard that my windshield was going to shoot out like a Starsky and Hutch episode.
Man.
And then he said when he got home, he couldn't even gather all of his goods from the truck. He left all his stuff in the cab, walked into the house, grabbed a cold rag, laid on the couch, and passed out. Which so we're talking about the strength of this tobacco here. We've got a tobacco that's very very powerful. The Latakia is certainly the overwhelming flavor in this tobacco, but one thing you might have going for you that Mayanovich did not have going for him is that you'll have a really, really full stomach here right after Thanksgiving meal.
Yeah, so, yeah.
So you've got a really full belly. You've got this really strong tobacco, and
you're not chopping wood,
and you're not chopping wood, and so you're just watching the Lions play NFL. So yeah, so you've got tobacco here that if you're a Latakia lover, I think will be very pleasing to you. Rich, super silky flavors. You've got that Cyprian Latakia that's just going to be have a nice strength to it. But it also is going to just run everyone out of the room. It'll probably run the mice out of the room. Is what I would think. 10 Russians. Last time I smoked it, it's just a strong tobacco. It's got just certainly an overwhelming Latakia Oriental smell to it, and so you'll get that full-bodied, kind of musty room note that those heavy Latakia blends are so apt to give us. So lots of rich Latakia flavor, and also enough room note to make all the little munchkins go
to
away.
scare the kids.
That's right.
Call in Captain Merle and his 10 Russian buddies, and
yeah. I mean, just think of a room, after Thanksgiving filled with 10 Russians. I mean, 10 burly, Igor-looking, just Soviet Russians.
The Russians. We came for Thanksgiving.
We come for Thanksgiving.
We heard there were munchkins. You did not want the room. Let us smoke of Captain Earl's blend.
That's it.
It sounds delightful.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you,
these are good blends. They're really good blends.
The packaging, gosh, really, really beautiful artwork on the packaging for this. Kind of a red design. It looks like kind of one of those, if you think of the classic Grimm's fairy tales and kind of the artwork that was on that, or even like the original Winnie the Pooh type of art that's done. It's kind of in that style, albeit one color, which is red, and just various shades. So beautiful. It looks like the captain is there behind his wheel smoking the pipe. So great stuff.
Yep. And you'll notice no children on the artwork. It's just Cap Merle.
Very anti-kids these days. This is a kids-free zone.
I'm just telling you, like at Thanksgiving, there's a reason, like, people like to turn their hearing aid down.
Fair enough, man. All right, well, good. Do you have another?
That's it.
All right. Well, I'm gonna throw a question to you in the midst of this.
Yeah, shoot.
Because as someone who, this Thanksgiving, I'm telling you, man, this is like the perfect year to bring some pipes, especially with the weather the way it is. But I want to have a little bit of the opposite of impact of this. I want a good, strong smoke, but I also want the room note to actually be somewhat positive.
Okay.
I know I'm going to want to bring a couple of pipes. I'm going to offer them to my brothers, to my father, so we can all get together and maybe spend a little time together. What would be the counter of I've got a full stomach. I want to take advantage of that.
Sure.
But I also want a good, aromatic experience.
Okay. Actually, figgy pudding would be good because it is a full body tobacco. Any aromatic that's got a healthy dose of burley is probably a nice fit. So think about at the Country Squire, we sell a lot of Parsons blend, a lot of Hunting Creek, some of these blends that have a nice component of those thicker leaves that fill the room up with nice kind of thick smoke. Others you might look at. Middleton's cherry tobacco. I mean, some of those.
Oh, come on! Now.
Some of those old blends that. Yeah, I mean, you think about these are heavy burley based blends. You've got Granger, pipe tobacco. I mean, some of those old drugstore over the counter blends. These are healthy doses of burley that are meant to make the room just smell sweet.
And gonna get that nice big plumage of smoke.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah. So I might point you in one of those directions. I think those are winners. Man,
good stuff. Well, I got to tell you, I will, like I said, my goal this Thanksgiving is to bring some tobaccos and a couple of pipes to enjoy on the back porch once it's all said and done. And, since I'm going to be going and sitting down with some folks that don't normally smoke a pipe, it's important to have a couple of spares that you can kind of pass around.
That's right.
During the holiday season. And a great way and a very cost-effective way to make sure that you are equipped, not just for yourself, but for whomever your guest may be, is to get a couple of pipes from Missouri Meerschaum.
That's right.
Missouri Meerschaum, of course, quality corncob pipes for an amazing price. If you haven't gotten a Missouri Meerschaum pipe, you absolutely should. Now, we talk about this particular one a lot, and I've actually got it right behind me, because I'm actually buying this before I leave tonight, and it's the Country Gentleman.
Country Gentleman.
It is, in my opinion, one of the quintessential Missouri Meerschaum pipes. I absolutely love the shape of the bowl. It just feels right in your hand. You get a nice, good size of a bowl to it as well. I think a lot of people when they think of corncob pipes, they either think the large MacArthur,
right.
or they think really, really small. And whereas this is as the Three Bears would say, it's just
right, baby.
Exactly.
It's just right. Yeah, the Country Gentleman right there with the Legend are probably the best sellers here at the Country Squire. We love the Country Gentleman, and I point new pipe smokers to it because it's got a generous bowl. The bowl's not overwhelming. It's not too big, but it's an attractive pipe. It's got a generous bowl. And typically when you're starting to smoke a pipe, you want to smoke a pipe because you envision yourself sitting around with friends, lingering on the patio, drinking a cocktail or something. It's not a quick smoke break kind of thing.
Right,
It's something
exactly.
that you want a nice size bowl, so you can sit there for a while and enjoy your friend's company. And the Country Gentleman does this in spades because it's got a nice thick chamber, keep it cool in your hand, and also provide you a nice hour and a half smoke.
Absolutely. So check it out. And hey, if you've got a Missouri Meerschaum pipe that you'll be smoking this Thanksgiving, take some pictures, send them in. We will retweet those out. Big thanks to Missouri Meerschaum for helping us make this show happen. All right, man. Pipe question of the week.
Yeah.
You ready for this?
Yep.
This comes in from listener Robert Grison, I think. Griss. Grissom. Okay. Ooh, man, my eyesight is not what it used to be there. Yes, Robert Grissom. Listener Robert Grissom, who writes in saying, what's the best way to repair a partial burn through on a briar pipe? He says it hasn't burned all the way through, but soon will if I continue to smoke it. It's not an expensive pipe, but it was the first pipe I bought when I started the hobby, so it has sentimental value.
Yeah, man, this is tough, Robert. I hate to break it to you, but you're probably not going to want to smoke that pipe much anymore. Yeah, and that's it. If it's got something, I'm going to keep talking so both quit singing. If it has sentimental value to you, you'll want to probably put a lot less miles on it going forward. It's the old horse that has a lot of years under its belt, that whose knees aren't what it used to be. You don't take it out galloping like you used to.
Mm-hmm.
And the same is going to be with this pipe. Now there are a few options. A lot of folks like to manufacture their own cake by making this mud that we've referred to before. Folks call it cigar mud, and you can take cigar ashes, or in some case pipe ashes, but cigar ashes are just so much thicker and tend to make a nicer paste. And so you might take that, just mix that with a little water, and then cake it on the side wherever that burnout is starting to form. Let it sit for a couple days, and you might even put another coat on there just to kind of you're basically giving yourself a artificial layer of cake there to kind of protect the briar at that particular point. So that may be an option for you, but brother, I'm gonna be real honest with you. I think, for the most part, if this is a pipe that does have a lot of value to you, you're going to want to put a lot less miles on it. I have had folks in the past, they, if there was a crack at the very bottom of the pipe, they might intentionally pack it really, really full and then smoke just the top half of it or something like that. And that way, your fire is the only thing that's really getting down at the bottom is just the heat of the air, and not as much the burning leaves. As long as that the fire is distant enough from that crack, you may be okay. But again, you're just going to want to take this slowly. Appreciate your pipe for what it's done for you, and take good care of it. Shine it up. Put him on the mantle, maybe take him out for a spin every couple months, but don't overwork him.
Man, yeah, that's gosh, I feel you on that one.
It just happens, it's part of it.
I was just thinking about what are there ideas? Are there like Etsy's out there for ideas on what to do with your retared pipes? Like make a keychain or
make a necklace or something. Yeah,
wear it around your neck.
Yeah,
maybe you could probably do something like in terms of your fishing gear setup, maybe hang it on your your hat or something like that. But, I'd be curious to know if anybody else has been in that situation where they were forced to retire their OG pipe and wanted to make sure that it still remained in a place of prominence.
I haven't heard of this being done with like pipes that have been good faithful servants, but I have seen this done for pipes that have just failed miserably, and people call it like a wall of shame or a rack of shame. They'll take their pipes that they ran over with the tractor, their dog ate, or they spent $500 on it and it burned out after the third smoke, kind of thing. Like and they'll put these pipes kind of on a rack, and that's their wall of shame. I even have kind of a desire to put something like that around the shop, just so when people have experiences like that, they can put their pipe up on the wall and be like, yeah, that was that lame pipe. So I don't know, but you might find something to do with it. I think in general though, you are going to want to put a lot less miles on it.
All right, up in the shop right now, you've got, and this has been here the entire time that I've been here.
Yeah,
you've got framed what looks to be like a brass pipe or something like
Well,
that.
no, that was a pipe that actually is painted gold. That was one of
Painted
Mr. Reeves's
gold.
pipes. Yeah,
So
that's right.
like somebody are you
That's
guys
an idea. And it's in a shadow box, right? So
exactly?
you got a shadow box. You maybe take it and place it in there. We've got one customer, matter of fact, that took his
Man, what an
his
awesome
very
idea.
his very first pipe, which was a meerschaum. He smoked it until he thought it was just colored perfectly. Never touched it again. Put it inside a shadow box, and it has sat there since the mid 1970s. And so, and he brought it up here one day for us to see. It was really cool. So,
Man,
you might think of something like that. You could have a lot of fun with it.
I gotta tell you, having one of Mr. Reeves' pipe up there, like on the case, like right over at your shoulder.
It's
Whenever
pretty
you
special.
that's an
It's
amazing
pretty
artifact.
special. Yeah,
That is really special.
it's pretty great.
Well, hey, great pipe question, Robert. We really appreciate that. Hey, if you've got a pipe question of the week, send it in, csr@podastery.com, and we will be answering them on future episodes. Again, that's csr@podastery.com. Quick fire question.
Ow!
All right, here we go. We are continuing the quick fire questions sent out into us by the Subcon on thispipelife.com.
Great.
The great forums at thispipelife.com. Tell you about more of those in a second. Here we go. Are you ready, sir?
Yes.
MP3 or vinyl?
Sound quality, vinyl. Most likely for me to use and enjoy, MP3.
We've talked about this one before.
Yeah.
That has historically also been my answer.
Yeah.
Well, so if I had to choose, I historically have just said MP3 because of the convenience. It outweighs everything.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, man, I'm late to this because I know it's like everybody in the thing and the hipsters with the hair and the beard and the glasses.
Why are you looking at me?
The hair and the beard and the glasses.
I see what you did there.
It's a thing. But I know that like y'all have been on like the vinyl kick for some time, and I'm kind of late to this, but I'm kind of wishing that I had a record player for my office.
Yeah.
And
if Mrs. Bo York is listening.
No, she knows.
Oh,
she
okay,
knows.
good.
Yeah. It's funny, actually, on my Amazon wish list, I put the entire vinyl collection of the musical Hamilton, even though I don't even own a record player. So if I get him in, I guess I'm just going to stare at him.
Oh, but you do know every word to the musical
Every
Hamilton.
single word. Every single word. It's beautiful.
And before you start singing them, let's go to the next quick fire question.
Escalator or stairs?
Escalator. I mean, you don't have to work. You just sit there, you stand on the escalator, the stairs move for you. So what if the handrail on the escalator moves at a different pace that the actual escalator, so you have to constantly, like, that's just part of it.
That's right. That's right. But what I like about stairs is it's forced exercise, which I kind of need in my life.
No,
right
that's
now.
fair.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go stairs. And all right, taking it one step further.
Okay.
Escalator or elevator?
Escalator, because you don't have to wait. With the elevator, you push the button. There's typically a line of people you're behind, kind of waiting, hovering around this one place, and then it finally arrives. You don't even know if you're going to get on in that lift because it might be full, and then you have to wait. With the escalator, you just step on.
Yeah, that's true. It also reduces the amount of awkward wait time because there is some wait in both situations, but not nearly as much.
Yeah.
When dealing with an escalator, with an escalator, let's say it's a crowded situation in both scenarios.
Right.
With an escalator, you only got one person in front of you, one person behind you. With an elevator, you've got like, who knows, like 20 people all
and you may be standing in the middle.
Yeah, that sounds horrific.
Which means you've got people breathing down your neck and looking at your funny hair and funny glasses and funny beard.
I'm gonna go escalator as well.
Yeah, I think that's wise.
Also, escalator gives you a little bit of options. I remember I was in Washington D.C. Like several years ago, and my wife and I, it's this huge crowd, and everybody was going one way on the escalator. As I recall, we were all going up. On the up escalator.
Yeah.
And they didn't have stairs. They only had the two escalators. You had the up escalator and down escalator. This one couple started going up the down escalator. So like they were working against the traffic and everything.
Something kids do.
Well, just to make sure. All right. So this is the thing though. As they started getting up, they were going up. And then like everybody was like, come on guys, don't do that. And then they started to get kind of close. And then all of a sudden we were all pulling for them, right? Because they were the underdog. They were facing like this horrific experience because one of them almost tripped and like it would have been a very bad scenario.
Right.
And so they're making the way. We're like, go, go, go. And then they make it all the way up and we all start chanting, USA, USA. It was a very incredible escalator experience. It's probably the most incredible escalator experience of my life.
That everyone needs one.
Everybody needs one. And that was mine. And then finally, gift card or personal present?
Oh, man. Golly, nowadays a gift card's really nice.
It's convenient.
It's really nice. But I tell you what, if they pick the right present, if they pick the right personal present, there's nothing better than someone just reading your mind or
Yeah.
picking you that one thing. Gift cards are great. On average, I think your chances are better with a gift card to please the person than with the present. But if the present is the right present, you just feel like $1,000,000.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm going to go personal present as well. A gift card is really kind of a last ditch effort at this point. But I every single time I see something that makes me think of someone, it makes me wish, man, I wish I was just like loaded so I could just, when I see those things, just buy them up and give them to that person. Be
That's
like,
it.
this is totally you right here, right now. And this needs to be yours. But no, yeah, personal present all the way.
Unless it's a gift card to the Country Squire.
Oh, well, yes.
Which can be procured at any time.
Well, this is absolutely true. Assuming that, of course, you don't know the exact pipe that is. Because I mean, if you know, like, oh, this pipe is Briar, this is the pipe that Briar has always needed, then you buy that pipe for Briar. Right. But if you're wanting to get Briar something, you can't quite figure out what it is, you get him a gift card.
That's right.
And it's just as good as a personal present.
No, it is.
Hint, hint.
He gets to come pick out his own personal present.
All right, man. Well, these are great quick fire questions that come in from the Subcon. Again, those are written to us from thispipelife.com on their message boards. Now, we've talked about thispipelife.com, an amazing online community. The forums are really one of our favorite parts about it, but they've also got these fireside chats. They've done one with us. They also did one with Missouri Meerschaum recently. Really, really awesome community. You get a lot of great knowledge from other folks in the community as well as experts in the field. So if you've not joined thispipelife.com, do it today, thispipelife.com, and use the code CSR when you sign up, because that lets them know you heard about it here and it helps support this show. All right, listener feedback. Before I read the comments for listener feedback, I got to make mention of this tweet that we just got in from Pappy Badger.
Dude, I love this.
Have you seen this?
I mean, he's already got stockings. There's a flat screen TV.
They're hung on the chimney with care.
And right next to their beautiful, lovely Christmas tree that they probably just put up, and who else on the TV behind the stockings next to the tree, but two impish dwarfs from Central Mississippi.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. and what I'm doing right now is I'm just moving my hands as though I was dropping things into the stockings.
Oh, that's cute. Yeah, yeah.
I hope that's awesome.
Look at that. I'm sure you missed everyone.
Probably. Which would not have changed had I actually been there.
That's great.
I have no hand-eye coordination.
That's great. Yeah, man. Even Portland Paul, he's doing some remodeling while he's watching us on his iPhone. Or his mobile device, should I say? Because I think it's an Android actually. Doing some remodeling while listening to us. We've got several folks kind of prepping for Thanksgiving and all that. Yeah. Austin Baker, always a treat to end a crazy Monday and relax with you guys. And man, we feel the same way, brother.
We also got some great comments on YouTube. We had Roberto on YouTube say, so funny watching us in New Orleans that he recently went to the cigar factory as well. And it's a nice place, but it can't compete with the Squire. It says cheers and a winky emoji. also on
don't ever say that again.
I'm sorry. Well, I mean, I don't know that's what you call it. It's doing the wink thing.
A winky emoji.
At least it's not boodles.
Boodles. Love me some boodles.
Boodles full of winky emojis.
It's delicious.
We also got Jay from RI who says, great job, guys. I enjoy listening to the show to and from work. You guys are informative and entertaining, and I would love to visit quote unquote y'all someday. Again, that is Jay from Rhode Island.
And he also has a smiley emoji.
Smiley emoji.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you so much, Jay, man. We'd love for you to come visit us or y'all as you say it. I'm very much in defense of the word y'all. I think he appreciates that. Yeah.
Look, there's great. There's
you don't say y'all a lot though, Bo. But you don't have as much of an accent as some of us that sound like we fall off the turnip truck.
What do they say? You guys? I don't say like you guys or anything like that. I say y'all.
Yeah. No, I mean you do.
I do. Yeah. It is one of the Southern isms that I do willingly embrace.
Yeah.
Brian Levine also tweets in saying, asking if we are elves for the holidays.
Yes, evil elves that are gonna crawl out from underneath your couch and put things in your stocking.
That sounds like the Russian, right? The Russian. Oh no, wait. What was the Grimace Grimkin? What was the thing that Dwight from the
Grimace?
Office?
Isn't that the character?
No,
from
that
McDonald's?
was the McDonald's. Yeah. No, there was a whole thing that Dwight from the Office. It was like the Christmas thing, but I think it was Russian. It may have been German. Never mind. That was a net fail. But you know what hasn't been? This episode.
This episode is not
really, really great.
That's right. That's right.
Day episode. We really appreciate everyone who's tuning in. Hey, you can tune in to a live show of Country Squire Radio by heading to countrysquireradio.com and joining us every single Monday night at 6:30 Central Time. That's 4:30 Pacific, 7:30 Eastern. You can keep up with us throughout the weeks. You can follow us on Twitter. I'm at The Real Bo York.
I'm at John David Cole, or you can get us at the shop at _Country Squire.
And of course, all that information and more can be found at countrysquireradio.com. Well, man,
dude, I had fun tonight. This is great. I feel like I'm fired up. I'm gonna go stuff my belly. I'm gonna go watch the Lions and pick on a bunch of little kids.
I mean, I do think we got the full picture of the John David Cole Thanksgiving experience.
There's a reason we have Latakia. You know, some people like the taste, some people like me. It just kind of shoos the little Whovilles out of the room.
I like now I'm seeing you as like a superhero of types. It's like Latakia shield up. You know, the smoke shield and everything else. Our live studio audience is waving us the middle finger as he is a massive Latakia fan. Well, hey, man, let's go have a day.
See you, brother.
All right, guys. Thank y'all so much for joining us.
Dude, we had a good audience tonight. This is great. Yeah, appreciate y'all always watching us live. And it seems like the experience has been a lot better now of late with the technology stuff.
Yeah.
Is that kind of what we hope that's what you feel? That's our goal. I know Bo works really hard on that. I actually don't do anything but just sit here and provide commentary. But
well, I got to say, hopefully, I mean, it does seem like Google has kind of balanced out what they're doing. I don't know if this is a temporary fix or
not sure if they're done. We're maybe not through all the waves, but at least for the time being, we've kind of got it stable. So
we're definitely not future proofed, but hey,
right.
It's Country Squire Radio.
Is anyone right?
When have we ever future proofed anything?
This whole thing's duct tape, man. You kidding me? Duct tape and paper clips, rubber bands.
It's about right. No, it's about right. It literally is all stored in a milk crate when it's all said.
It really is. I know, it really is, right?
All right, guys. Thank y'all so much. Happy Thanksgiving to you.
Good night, y'all.